I'm back. Here I am. Here I am, world.
Hey, if you have anything, any proclamations to make, or any...
Well, first off, I don't take anything I said. I don't really care. Yes. By the way, Patrick Mahomes said yesterday courtside that guy could definitely play in the NFL. I got Brandon Marshall, Saquon Barkley, all these guys calling my phone like, yo, you know you're right, right?
Okay.
So, listen, if the one guy from Green Bay who I never heard of wants to say his little piece or talk, then so be it, man. I don't really give a damn. Is it 30 players? I don't know. It could be 10, could be 12. By the way, I'm only talking two positions, tight end, wide receiver. So, and again, I didn't say they'd be Terrell Owens out there. I just said we had guys that could absolutely go out there and play. And no, I didn't say myself, but I am 6'5" with a 40-inch vertical, and I run 4'5". So, and I'm 220. So I don't know what I could do or not do. I don't think I could take a tackle. That's for damn sure. I'd probably play one snap, get one catch, and then I might be out for the rest of the year.
I want to let you know, I appreciate the way you've handled this year.
Yeah. Yes.
I appreciate the way you've handled this. J.J. Watt came on our show. I don't know if you know that, because J.J. came out and said, well, why don't you try? And then we actually called J.J. and we're like, hey, he actually said he was not.
He's not one.
And
yeah, no, I wasn't on that list. I wasn't on that list.
Yeah, JJ felt like an asshole. He's like, oh, great. So I didn't watch a full video. I took a quote out of context. I'm doing exactly what I hate people to do. And then he said, I'm not saying what he said was wrong either. JJ even said that in this whole thing. And then once you start breaking down, like, okay, is it one play? Is it one situation? How many practices? Is there training camp? Is there this whole... That's where it started to get... Which was great fodder. I want to let you know, you did a great job. Hey, thank you for what you did for us and for the internet.
I appreciate you.
For the internet. I mean, you really... you threw one out there that really got going.
Yeah, it's crazy what that turned into, man. I walked through the airport today and I got stopped 10 times. They're like, 30? I'm like, I don't know. I don't have my book with me with all the players list the name. I don't even know how to respond to this shit, man. I can't believe that took the light that it, like, the way that thing just took off
immediately,
and the whole world was captivated by it. It just was like insane. And I'll tell you why. You know why that is, right?
Why?
It's because we've thought about this. This has been a thing for a while. There's always been a little rift between football and basketball players. We know why. I don't want to get listen. I've already said enough. I'm not getting into that anymore. But there's always been a little something there. It starts with the mutual respect. Okay. It starts with the mutual respect for one another.
Agreed.
So yeah, it was fun. It was a good conversation.
Yeah, it was good chatter. And I think what you're talking about is maybe in college is where this starts. Now at Duke, probably a different animal. Although this modern Duke football, dude.
Well, unfortunately.
It's over.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, it's over. Quarterback left too, the guy.
Yeah, he went to Notre Dame.
Yeah, he's gone too. Yeah. So it's over.
We had our moment.
Cutcliffe still there, coach?
No.
Ben,
No, yeah. Damn. Duke football's dead again.
Yeah, for sure.
But they were really cool.
Relax.
It was. They're getting Cooper Flag, so that's going to be sick.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be doing it.
Yeah.
Your basketball team still good down there at Duke?
Well, we're preseason number 1 next year.
Because of Cooper.
When was the last time you guys
just another year. No, it's not just because of Cooper. We cleaned house, man. We got like 3 transfers. We got this kid from Africa. We got who's like 7 foot, great hands, great feet. We got Isaiah Evans, who's like a 6'8", top 5 player. We have the number 1 recruiting class the next 2 years. So it's just another year.
Okay. Well, congrats to the Duke Blue Devils basketball team running that campus.
Yeah. When was the last time?
The whole conversation, I believe, that you were kind of alluding to there. Let's talk about a little bit of basketball here, shall we? Let's talk a little basketball. We had Perk on in the first hour. He said that he thinks that Nuggets-Wolves go in 7 games. Do you agree with that? Do you think the Nuggets have figured it out? No, you think they're battling back, yes?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my God, did Minnesota trick that off before the halftime? Did you see that 7-0 run that they had?
Oh, yeah.
They cut it to 8. Nikola finds KCP for a 3. Ant turns it over. MPJ gets a layup, and then they turn the ball over again, and Jamal launches this thing from half court, and it's a 7-0 swing. It goes from being a ball game to, I mean, this right here, he just tosses the ball. I mean, oh my God. I mean, for the half to end like that, it really broke their back. I mean, it changed the entire outlook of the game, and they were never able to get back. Now that it's 2-2 going back to Denver, and Denver has this momentum, the series, it went from everyone being like, man, Minnesota's going to the finals to, this is going to be a 7-game series. I had Denver winning originally. I still have them winning now. I have them winning in Game 7, though. I think they go back and win in Denver. I think they win 3 straight. and then Minnesota wins it 6 at home. And then I think Denver takes it at home.
Okay.
7.
I'm excited to watch that series because everything that we were taught over the last couple years of this Malone Joker team is like when they just flip it on, it's on.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just kind of how it goes. I'll be excited to see if this Ant-Man, who we are all massive fans of, can put the fire out there at Mile High like they did the first 2 games. Go ahead, AJ.
Can you talk a little bit about Aaron Gordon? I know people do talk about him, but I feel like he's like an unsung hero. Everything the guy does, he's really fun to watch. But I know I watched an interview when he's sitting there and he's praising the Joker and saying how humble he is and everything. Like they seem like they have a great thing going. But what does Aaron Gordon mean to that team?
Man, Aaron's one of my best friends. He is one of the most selfless, just like human beings. And for him, he is the heart and soul, in my eyes, and the X factor of that Denver team. He plays that dunker spot well. He was misdiagnosed as a player coming in. He was a lottery pick, and in Orlando, they tried to make him a scorer, and that's not exactly what he is. He's able to score playing a role. You know, once he turned into a role player, playing with a guy like Nikola, they work so well together. They have the best put starting lineup in the NBA. Every single piece is there to complement the next man, and I don't think anyone's more important than Aaron. Aaron gets lost in the weeds, and I think when we say the name Aaron Gordon, we automatically just, that name is synonymous with just dunking because of the things he's done in the dunk contest. But they won the game last night because of him, and there's no doubt about it. And actually, even the game before that, he shot the ball well. If he's hitting shots, I don't know how you beat that team. Because that's just like the cherry on top. He does all the other stuff. He defends. He was one of the biggest reasons why they won last year. I don't know if y'all remember that run he went on. He guarded KD the first series. What? Then he guarded this guy the next series. Right now he's guarding Ant a lot. I mean, he has his hands full. He's a huge piece of that team. He's the best defensive player on their team. And then now he's putting up 20 on games too.
Yeah. I thought you were going to rattle off all the names there, and that would have been phenomenal if you would have been able to be like, last year, remember, you got KD, then he got this guy.
Yeah, I don't remember the order of which they played.
The Lakers. I know LeBron and the Lakers were the conference finals.
Yes, it was LeBron, KD. We're missing somebody. He had someone in the
Paul George or Kawhi? I forget.
Yeah, I don't know. But it was impressive. I mean, listen, he's one of the best defenders in the league that never gets that type of praise because I think he's just on such a heavy-hitting team. When you talk about the Nuggets, you talk about Nikola, you talk about Jamal. Even their third leading scorer last year was Michael Porter Jr. And even this year. But he's the guy that kind of gets lost in the weeds, and he's probably the X factor for that team, considering what they ask of him. Crazy game.
You guys are
Timberwolves need help.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
I said Ant needs help. He had 44 last night.
Yeah, phenomenal.
AG has won the last 2 games. He's won the matchup versus Carl. Carl Anthony Towns is an all-star. So these are things that have to change. But yeah, AG's my guy. We usually go on vacations every summer, wholesome trips, mind you.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah,
and don't start that. And he's
you guys are talking shit about NFL guys the whole time. Where do you guys go? You guys go to a beach and say you're 30, you guys can go play in the NFL. Is that what you do?
AG was one of the guys on that list.
Yeah, I know there were some people around you that were gassing up this entire conversation, obviously, because when you came in and said, listen, there's 30, that had been chatted about in your head around people before, I would respect AG on there. Dreads would look sick.
Do you know what's funny about this conversation?
Out of the helmet, too.
Do you know what's funny about this, Pat? Notice this entire argument since then, we only have been talking about the NBA players that could play in the NFL. No one has thrown out names the other way.
Oh, yeah, you're not listening. You're not listening. You're not listening. TJ Watt, I don't know if you saw.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry could get you.
Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Playing the NBA?
Yeah. Jason
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
I don't know what drugs they got down there in Indianapolis, but they got to be strong as hell.
It's not me. It's Coastal Elite doing this.
That's Dan.
Brother, those guys are 6'4", 6'5". They play like centers. Just because they could dunk. You guys are the same guys that saw like J. Cole dunking an All-Star game, and they're like, J. Cole can play the NBA.
Wow.
Easy. He never said that. J. Cole would never say that he could do that, obviously. He went down and played in...
What is that list?
In that Puerto Rico.
What is that list?
That's the list.
This is Dan Orlovsky's list. This is a Coastal Elite big city guys list.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I just want to let you guys know.
Aiden Hutchinson.
You're absolutely delusional if you think any of these guys can play in the NBA.
Aiden Hutchinson? What are you talking about?
Not one of these guys would say they could play in the NFL. Now, look,
Chase Claypool.
Mark Andrews? You don't think Mark Andrews is getting aboard?
Come on.
You don't think
getting a board doesn't make you an NBA player?
Christian McCaffrey?
Justin
McCaffrey
Herbert,
would be like McConnell 2.0.
your head.
Heavy
George
crew?
Kittle.
Come on.
Oh my
Come
God.
on.
George Kittle's doing this every single time.
Tyreek Hill
Chris
at
Jones.
5'8".
Dude, did you see what Micah did to the sumo wrestler? Just imagine what he'd do to you guys.
Oh, man.
You're done.
He would foul out in 2 minutes. Is
Got
what he'd
6
do.
fouls.
Those guys can't play in the NBA.
Hey, listen, if
Have you
Tony
seen Michael
Peters is
Parsons?
going
Have
to
you seen
call
Michael
everything, if Tony Peters is going to do that bullshit that he was doing for the Knicks, of course he'll foul
Tony
out.
Peters is nuts. Tony Peters is nuts.
Tony Peters is. Yeah, he is. He's crazy.
I can't even get over that.
Yeah,
Listen, I respect it, man. You guys have passion for football. I love it. None of those guys could come close to playing in the NBA, and they know that. You know
TJ
that.
Watt
And I know,
can't play.
I know you know that deep down. I know you know that deep down. Like, these guys are like, Myles Garrett is like dunking the ball at 6'5". Like, we have 7 foot. Like, they would. It's crazy. You guys even think this is.
Do you know what this thing looks like from a 6'5", 280-pounder as opposed
It
to a
looks like
6'8",
an offensive foul.
130?
It looks like an offensive liability.
Okay,
It couldn't. There's too much.
this is
skill
what the
involved
backs
in
are going to
NBA.
look like. This is what the backs are going to look like down in the post. Okay, just want to let you. AQ Shipley's taking that gut, putting that thing,
Boom.
and you're standing like this, not on purpose. You know, you go whoa. You're not going to be able to do shit. Nothing.
I don't take anything you're saying right now seriously. Nothing.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
You're staying on your own show. Am I taking this
You
serious?
are
This is
so
absolutely.
disrespectful. Going to take it either not. I was at a game yesterday. When was the last time you were at an NBA game? When was the last time you were at an NBA game?
A week ago.
You don't know. I was there yesterday. This guy doesn't know shit. You don't know anything. I was boots on the wood yesterday. Eyeball and top. TJ McConnell, that guy can play in the NFL.
Yeah. Easy. McConnell could, no doubt
Return
about it,
kick.
10 rushes, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I'm putting McConnell at safety. He's John Lynch reincarnated.
yeah.
Oh, you guys.
Yeah.
So now I get the rift. We're trolling. I love it. Okay,
We're
now-
trolling.
TJ McConnell's a dog,
He's
Austin.
from Pittsburgh,
No
Austin.
trolling.
I love
Ball
TJ
mentality.
McConnell. I love TJ McConnell. Having him in the NFL, man.
No trolling.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
I'm gonna have to have a drink after this. I'm not even kidding.
Is this too tough like football
through my
practice?
jacket right now.
Okay.
I'm sweating through my jacket. You guys are getting me hot. I can't even do this.
Well, listen, that's what football is. Welcome to football,
Boom.
baby. Welcome to football. Okay.
You want to know a true story about me in football?
We heard it.
Story about me in football?
We heard it. You
I
quit.
tried out for. Yeah. You know why? Because there's. You know.
Yeah, it's too hot.
Too hot.
Oh, my
Too hot.
ears hurt with the helmet on. Yeah, we heard
me.
We heard it. Yeah, we heard it. Punters lasted longer than they said. Yeah, I heard that. That was rude. I didn't like when they said that, but a lot of people were saying that. Anyways,
Said what?
nothing. They were saying kickers and punters are tougher than you. I didn't think you deserved that. I didn't think you deserved 12-year NBA vet.
Come on.
Yeah,
man.
come on.
Long time.
This guy played 12 years in the NBA. What are we talking about? This guy's been running
5-star.
wooden cities for so long. Yeah. Hey, Austin, we appreciate and respect the NBA guys.
Always.
I'm not clapping to that. I don't want that slow clap. that bullshit ass clap. You guys
Well,
are
that's the
giving me.
entitlement
What
from the
hell is
NBA players that leads us back to thinking you guys won't be able to make it.
Applause.
I don't
Every
even
day
believe
you
that
got to
clap
earn
is-
it. Every day in football you got to earn it. The inch in front of you,
Yeah, that's right.
the inch behind you. All right.
Hey, you know why? You know what my rift is with the NFL? Can I be honest with you? You know what my rift is really? Let's break it down.
Ratings are up.
The
Money's up.
the NFL is more about the NBA is more like it's more player driven, where the NFL is more about the team.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And that's always been I think from an athlete standpoint, when you want to make the professional sports and be at the top of the top, not that you want it to be about yourself, but like you want to be able to achieve that level of symbolism for yourself as a great athlete. Not that you can't do that in the NFL, because these guys are amazing athletes, man. Like NFL athletes are freaks. I mean, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, absolutely.
But the teams are driven by the sports. When you think of the NFL, you think of the Packers, you think of the Cowboys, you think of the Bears, you think of the whoever. Where the NBA, you think of LeBron James and you think of Kevin Durant. It's just a little different. You know what I mean? So it's all depending on what you want.
All right, if this goes in, you're wrong.
Boom. Universe ball.
Okay.
Gotcha.
If you would have made that, I actually.
Bonus ball.
A little harder,
Bang
Pat.
ring.
Oh, that was good.
There it is. Oh, my God.
Online.
Too jacked up. Too jacked up. We'll catch that later. Too strong. Which goes back to the NFL NBA thing.
Yeah.
We're too strong.
I did see you courtside yesterday.
Thank you.
You look good.
Thank you. It was very nice.
I don't like the shell toe. I don't like the jeans, how they were laid over the shell toes. But you were on some different timing.
No, but if I was standing, I look great. Sitting down is kind of tough. I didn't take that into account that's how the photos are going to be. I stand up there, I look sweet.
Did they give you those tickets or do you pay for them?
Tyrese Halliburton, I don't know if you know him, future face of the NBA Team USA member, Tyrese Halliburton. Those are his tickets.
Yes, baller, hooper.
Dog, yeah. I mean, what I didn't know when I took those, and I'm very thankful for because these tickets were, there was some that were similar that were for sale on SeatGeek, and I think they were like $4,500 a piece or something.
Pretty pricey.
So very thankful for Tyrese Halliburton. My wife and I had a blast. One of the cameramen, his name was Ron. I think he's been taking pictures on AS Court for 40 years. His little... Are you getting a call from an NBA player telling you, stop, you need to slow it down, we're getting buried enough by these football guys?
No, that's my Uber Eats delivering my beer that I told you I need after.
Right.
Drink coming.
Hey, the camera people, that was an interesting, there's like a line they're not allowed to go in front of, and I guess my guy was the least flexible one, so he needed the most amount of leg space.
Nice.
His name was Ron. So he was right there in my lap. I mean, I was putting food on this guy's head. He was sitting right in front of me, and Ron, hey, you knew Ron was the show, part of the show. He got great photos, but that is a part of the NBA. Fans are so close to they're like on top of you there. You know what I mean? Like they are actually in the middle of the action, which leads me to like the refs, like Tony Peters and the boys, like they were in the middle of it all. Darius has a question for you, Austin.
Hey, y'all refs are more known and obviously got a big impact on the game, just like all sports. But Tony Brothers, Scott Foster, all these guys, do you guys have a scout report going into the game? Because we know as sports bettors, some of us, hey, Scott Foster's going on his game, staying away from
Tony Brothers.
How about for the players?
Yes, I don't even waste my time with Tony Brothers. That guy'll get you. I played the Pacers 3 years ago and got thrown out for missing Lance Stevenson, and I did like a fake elbow. I didn't even elbow him. I didn't touch him. He reviewed it and still threw me out the game. There's certain refs, like you said, that you have to know going into it that sometimes they get a little bit too involved in the show, in my opinion. And they start getting emotional with the crowd and like can do stuff. And Tony's one of those guys. I'm not saying he's a bad ref, but he's just, you got to know your people. Tony's one of those dudes you just don't mess around. I'm just going to be honest with you. I've gotten thrown out multiple times of games by Tony Brothers. And, I still think he's a good ref overall, but he's an emotional guy.
Of course, he's great. And I'm happy that, somebody called him the wrong name for 3-4 quarters didn't really make him turn it. They were trying to get the Knicks back in that game, though. It was starting to started, and it was like, wait a minute. But the Pacers
Knicks are in trouble.
Yeah, they are. Okay, Ty has a question for you, Austin.
Yeah, Austin. So speaking of that, obviously early on, and really up until the Pacers series, like it looked like the Knicks were just playing with house money. Obviously Brunson was going crazy, but we know how banged up they are. They don't really have anybody coming off the bench. And it seems like if Brunson or DiVincenzo isn't scoring like 40+, like they're in a bad spot. Have they officially just run out of gas? Like, are they in trouble now moving on the rest of this series with the Pacers seemingly kind of catching fire here?
The problem that I have is, to your question, I don't like you have multiple guys that he's, and I love Thibodeau. I think Thibodeau is one of the better coaches in the league. But he's running some of these guys to the ground. You know what I mean? Just due to the minutes he plays these guys, and he asks them. When you look at Indiana, they have McConnell and Obi Toppin and all these guys that they're able to throw off the bench that can have impacts. Whereas the Knicks, man, like they're just now trying to get like Alec Burks in the game. They're trying to find something. You're playing Josh Hart 48 minutes out of a 48-minute game. And I think people think, oh, man, NBA is not a physical sport. It's not a contact sport. You're playing both sides of the ball. You're running up and down all game, and this is a different era. This is different from playing 48 minutes in the 90s. In the 90s, they were walking the ball up the floor, and the final score of these games were like 79, 82. These scores are now 120, 130. They're track meets, and you got guys out there playing 48 minutes a night. Jalen Brunson, what's on his shoulders every night is so – I can't even imagine as a player having that much on your shoulders. So I don't know if they could – they're great at home. That home court presence, you got to admit, the MSG, what they do in there, they're unbelievable at home. But when they're on the road, they haven't shown to been able to win yet. it does look like they're running out of gas. I have questions whether, like, even if they were able to win this series, like, good God, what would you expect from them from next series? You can go another 7 games playing these guys 48 minutes a night. You know, OG's already hurt. You know, you hope nothing happens to Brunson or Hart or their series is over. So I don't know. I don't like the likelihood of them, you know, coming out anymore. I had them as a team that could go compete against Boston, and I'm not so sure about that.
Instead, it's the Pacers, Austin Rivers says.
Yeah, I think the Pacers are losing 7.
Oh, no.
To the Knicks?
Yeah, I think the Pacers losing 7 to the Knicks.
All right. It sounds like that is a pre-series started judgment pick, and now you got to stick by it.
Don't be a homer. Don't be a homer. You know what? I was sat next to on the plane today.
Were you at the game?
Mike Epps.
Oh, yeah? How was that? He's a good dude.
He's a big Indianapolis guy, right?
Oh, yeah. Bought back the block here. Flipped over a whole neighborhood. Did the whole thing. Yeah, he is.
Oh, did he? Yeah, I saw him on the plane. He's hype about the Pacers.
Yeah, what'd you say to him? Did you say, hey, I'm an asshole? Before the series started, I say it was going to be the Knicks, but now that I've watched the games and I've seen what's happened, I still can't say that it's not going to be the Knicks because, you see, I made a prediction before the series started.
The series is tied, Pat. The series is tied.
We all see what's happening.
It's swinging.
We all see what's happening.
Look at you.
We all see. Were you there? Have you been at a game? I was there yesterday.
I would never pay tickets. I would never pay tickets to go to a Pacers game on the court, man.
This guy sucks. This guy sucks. You don't know what you're missing. They revved the engine yesterday.
Yeah, Dale Double D.
Dale Davis.
Training like the butcher's dog.
I do love playing in Indianapolis because they have a great home crowd. I'll give you that. Great environment. It's always been a basketball town, though. Indianapolis is a basketball city.
Well, Peyton came, and there's a statue now, and certainly it is a football town. But if the Pacers with this particular team can win, quickly we'll come back to being a full-blown basketball city, which I think it already is. I might have just been missing the boat. Like, Tyrese Halliburton is like the perfect star for Indiana. You know, from Iowa State, obviously, born in Wisconsin. Like, his personality is like perfect for you, and he's a dog. Like, he is. And
he is.
This TJ McConnell, I mean, I'm telling you, he knows it too. He is loved here. He knows. Topin?
Yeah, Obi Toppin.
This dude hit his head off the top of the backboard yesterday while we were watching him play. It's like Jackson.
Look at that. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. They could do whatever the hell they wanted. Legitimately, they could do whatever the hell they wanted. And then guy I just learned of with sweet mustache and Morgan Wallen.
Ben Shepherd, the man.
Ben Shepherd. This dude's got a sweet stash. You know, good fade.
Rookie.
Box top.
You guys are such homers. It's unbelievable. Whoa. My God. Look at you going in on the dynamic of each guy's haircut. This is insane.
We got dogs, dude.
You weren't in that barn yesterday, Austin. That place was buzzing.
I'm a journalist. You're a guy that's on a plane with Mike Epps. I don't need to hear it.
Boom. There's Chef Dog.
And I described him perfectly.
Mustache, I got to admit.
Yeah.
I got to admit it's a great stat.
He's a
Hashtag
dog.
journalism, prick. I mean, that is literally what we're doing here. AJ has a question for you, Austin.
Austin, a bit of a veer. Going back to the fans, I know your dad's a coach. Does he have any stories of fans just getting too involved into the huddles? I just imagine as a coach, when you have the people between where like the coaches sit and the the table, there's like 8 fans. They sell these seats. Are they like? Do you ever have to find a way to get your security to box them out or get out of the way, or like what? It just feels like it's very invasive.
Yeah, players do. They usually don't mess with the coaches too much. I can't think of a memory of him getting into it with the fan that like really drove him over the edge.
Or a fan getting pissed that he's standing in their way, like, hey, coach, move out of the way, coach. Like that doesn't happen, I hope.
I'm sure it does happen because there are privileged people all around this world that we walk in, especially when people pay a lot of money for tickets on the court side. Sometimes people feel like they're entitled to just
real quick before you go any further. If I would have paid $4,500 for the seats that I was sitting in, Tyrese Halliburton did, and I'm thankful for that. With that guy in my lap the entire time,
that's ridiculous.
I could see how people would be like, well, what are we even?
But that's different than the coach walking in front of you trying to coach a team.
Agreed completely.
Yeah.
There's a guy's seat right there.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah, wow.
That's a guy's seat right there. That thing.
That's backwards?
Yeah. Well, I did that for Cowherd.
I was about to say, did Colin call you about that or no?
No, I did it for Call. I mean, I legitimately did it for Call. Not the biggest hat wearer because the size and shape of my head. But if I want to walk in Indiana anywhere, normally have to have a hat at least, over the face a little bit so I can keep it moving. So, uncomfortable, put it on backwards. Shout out Colin Cowherd, who we love. Hey, we love.
Yeah, we love him.
Absolutely love him. But yeah, had a good time there, man. Had a good time. But the guy's in there. But you're right. There is situations in basketball, AJ, that doesn't happen in any other sport. I mean, there's people sitting 4 feet behind the bench. Like they're 4 feet in the bench. Like Patrick Beverley, that situation.
Yeah, exactly. That happens. That's what I was saying. It happens with the players more. I think the players are more emotional into a game. It's like a job for a coach to be a little bit more emotionally stable, where players are just like very vulnerable out there. So you have these. So it's easy noise until the game doesn't go your way and you're losing, and then these guys are still talking. And all it takes is one of these guys to kind of react emotionally, which happens all the time. I mean, Pat Beverley obviously is the most recent, but it happens almost every game. You'll see a player say something to a fan, where in football, you can kind of like tune that stuff out. You got the helmet. A football arena is also so much bigger, and there's so many more fans in a football arena. It's very hard to like single out one guy talking to you.
Yeah, it's a stadium.
Yeah,
we do stadiums. You guys do arenas. We do 70, 80,000.
More people want to go.
You guys do 14, 15.
Yeah. No, I know yeah, exactly. Rightfully so, because like we only have like 12, 13 guys per team. You guys have like 200 on a team. So like everybody gets in the arena to watch. Everybody gets in the team to play.
Okay.
Everyone.
All right. Hey, we appreciate you. Safe travels wherever you're headed.